Have you ever heard a story so chilling, so strange, that it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? Tonight, we're rediving into a tale that blurs the line between a treasure hunt and a ghost story. This is the legend of the Whispering Gold, a buried treasure chest that isn't just waiting to be found, it's waiting to speak. Our story begins in the rugged, windswept hills of a place many old maps simply call the Forsaken Coast. It's a land steeped in pirate lore, shipwrecks, and tales of unimaginable riches lost to the sea and soil. For centuries, locals have spoken of a particular treasure, one that belonged to a notoriously cruel pirate captain known as Silas, the Silent Blackwood. Blackwood wasn't called the Silent because he was quiet, quite the opposite. His nickname came from the chilling silence that fell over his victims. He was a ruthless marauder who plundered countless ships along the trade routes in the late 17th century. But unlike other pirates who spent their fortunes as quickly as they earned them, Blackwood was obsessed with his hoard. He trusted no one, not even his own crew. Legend says that after his most successful raid, a heist that netted him a chest overflowing with gold doubloons, priceless jewels, and artifacts from distant lands, Blackwood decided to bury it somewhere no one would ever think to look. He sailed his ship, the Sea Serpent, into a secluded, fog-shrouded cove on the Forsaken Coast, a place he knew was already rumoured to be haunted by the spirits of drowned sailors. He thought the local superstitions would be the perfect guardians for his treasure. He took only one crew member with him ashore, a young cabin boy named Finn. Together, they dragged the heavy iron-bound chest deep into the gnarled woods overlooking the cove. They dug a pit beneath the roots of an ancient, twisted oak tree, a landmark visible only from a specific point at sea. As the story goes, once the chest was buried and the ground was smoothed over, Blackwood did the unspeakable to ensure the location remained a secret known only to him. He ended young Finn's life right there, burying him as the treasure's eternal, silent guardian. Or so he thought. Blackwood never returned for his gold. His ship was caught in a sudden, violent storm just days later and was dashed against the very rocks of the Forsaken Coast. He went down with his ship, taking the secret of his treasure's location to a watery grave. The treasure was lost, or so it seemed, for nearly a century. This is where the story takes a turn from a simple pirate tale to something much more sinister. Around the mid-1800s, a small fishing village began to grow near the cove. Soon, villagers started reporting strange occurrences. On moonless nights, when the fog rolled in thick from the sea, a faint sound would drift down from the woods. It wasn't the wind or the cry of an animal. It was a whisper. Those who were brave enough, or perhaps foolish enough, to venture closer described it as a soft, pleading voice. It seemed to come from the ground itself, near the old, twisted oak tree. The voice would whisper things, fragments of sentences. "Help me," some heard. "It's cold," others reported. And most chillingly, he promised. He promised it. Locals quickly connected the whispers to the legend of Blackwood's treasure. They believed it was the ghost of the young cabin boy, Finn, forever bound to the gold he was forced to guard in death. They said his spirit couldn't rest, his voice a perpetual echo of his betrayal. The treasure was no longer just a pirate's hoard. It was cursed, haunted by the sorrowful spirit of its forgotten guardian. Over the years, many have tried to find it, treasure hunters, armed with old maps and new technology, have descended upon the forsaken coast. But the Whispering Gold, as it came to be known, proved elusive. Strange things would happen to those who searched for it. Tools would disappear, compasses would spin wildly, and equipment would mysteriously fail. And always there were the whispers. One famous account from the 1920s tells of a team of 3 treasure hunters who spent weeks searching the area. They documented their experience in a journal. At first, they were optimistic, but their entries grew more and more erratic. They wrote about the constant, unsettling whispers that seemed to follow them, even back at their camp. The whispers became clearer, almost conversational, trying to lead them astray, deeper into the woods, away from the oak tree. On their final night, one of the men wrote, "The boy doesn't want us to find the gold. He's afraid of Blackwood's return. He whispers warnings." The team abandoned their search the next morning, leaving most of their equipment behind, and never returned. Another, more recent story from the late 90s involves a paranormal investigation team. They went in with EVP recorders, thermal cameras, and all the modern ghost hunting gear. Their audio recordings were astonishing. They captured clear electronic voice phenomena, the whispers. But when they analyzed the sounds, they found something deeply disturbing. Layered beneath the boy's soft voice was another sound, a low, guttural growl, a menacing presence that seemed to get louder whenever they got closer to the old oak tree. The investigators concluded that 2 spirits were trapped there, the sad, lonely soul of Finn and the malevolent, greedy spirit of Captain Blackwood himself, still jealously guarding his prize, even in death. The legend says Finn whispers to warn people away, to protect them from the wrath of Blackwood, while Blackwood's spirit tries to lure them closer to their doom. The 2 are locked in an eternal struggle over the cursed chest. The treasure isn't just buried under the ground, it's trapped between 2 warring ghosts. So, what do you think? Is this just a spooky campfire story, a local legend designed to keep outsiders away? Or is there really a haunted treasure chest buried on the forsaken coast, whispering its tragic secret into the night? Could a fortune in gold be worth facing the ghosts of its past? The old oak tree still stands, twisted and ancient, overlooking the foggy cove. And the locals say if you go there on a quiet, moonless night and listen very carefully, you might just hear it. A faint, sorrowful whisper on the wind, a ghostly reminder that some treasures are better left buried. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. What chilling legends have you heard? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the shadows. Stay curious and stay safe.